If you're a man over 50 and still drinking milk because it reminds you of strength, comfort, or childhood mornings at the table, then I need to be straight with you. That milk might be quietly hurting you more than it's helping. You see, I'm not here to take away your coffee creamer or your breakfast ritual. I'm here to tell you something most doctors won't. Some types of milk are silently damaging your circulation, lowering your testosterone, and weakening the very function that makes you feel like a man. I'm Jonathan Prescott. I've spent over 30 years working with men in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. Men who thought they were just getting older, when in reality, their energy, memory, and yes, bedroom performance were being sabotaged by everyday choices they didn't think twice about. Milk is one of the sneakiest. The label might say low-fat or plant-based, but what's inside? That's where the trouble begins. Some milks are loaded with saturated fats, added sugars, hormone disruptors, or even toxic trace elements, and they're doing real damage to your heart, your blood flow, and your hormonal balance. So today, I want to walk you through 4 milks you should avoid after 60, and more importantly, 4 smarter alternatives that protect your heart, your mind, your digestion, and your manhood. If you've been feeling more tired, stiff, foggy, or not quite yourself lately, don't blame your age too quickly. Sometimes the change starts with something as simple as what you're pouring into your glass each morning. Let's talk about the truth behind milk and how one small swap could help you feel clearer, stronger, and more like you again.
1. Whole milk, the silent heartbreaker in your fridge. Let's start with the one that's probably sitting in your refrigerator right now. Whole milk. Now, I get it. For many of us, whole milk isn't just food, it's tradition. I still remember my own father pouring a tall glass next to his eggs each morning. Back then, whole milk stood for strength, booms, manhood. It was part of the American kitchen. But here's what most men over 60 never hear. What used to build strength in your youth might now be quietly breaking it down in your later years. Why? Because whole milk is loaded with saturated fat, over 4.5 grams in a single cup. For a younger body, that's manageable. But after 60, that fat starts clogging arteries, raising bad cholesterol, and putting strain on your heart. And when blood flow suffers, everything suffers, including your brain, your muscles, and yes, even your erections. Let's be honest. If you're not getting the same performance, physically, mentally, or intimately, don't be so quick to blame age. Blood flow is the key, and whole milk, it slows that key function down. There's more. Whole milk is also a calorie trap. About 150 calories in just one glass, and that adds up fast, especially when muscle mass is declining and your metabolism is slowing. Those calories often end up on your waistline, inside your joints, or spiking your blood sugar if you're borderline diabetic, and many men are without knowing it. And then there's the lactose. Even if milk never used to bother you, as you age, your body produces less lactase, the enzyme that helps you digest it. That means more bloating, more gas, and more fatigue after what you thought was a healthy breakfast. It's not your age, it's your digestion catching up with your habits. I once had a patient, mid-60s, former high school coach, who said to me, "Doc, I eat clean, just cereal and milk every morning like I always have." And I had to gently tell him that habit might be draining your strength without you even realizing it. This is the moment where you ask yourself the honest question: is this glass of milk still serving the man I am today, or just the boy I used to be? Because after 60, health doesn't come from old routines, it comes from new understanding. And now that you know what whole milk is really doing inside your body, it's time to move forward. But before we do, we need to talk about the next milk on the list, one that's even more deceptive, because it doesn't just hurt your heart, it targets your brain and your blood sugar with a force most men completely underestimate. Let's talk about the sweet little syrup hiding in your coffee or your desserts. Sweetened condensed milk. 2. Sweetened condensed milk. The sugar bomb that robs your brain and bedroom. Why the spoonful that warms your heart might be quietly aging your body. Let's talk about something most men never suspect. Sweetened condensed milk. You might know it as the creamy drizzle in your morning coffee, that comforting ingredient in a family dessert, or the finishing touch on a weekend treat. And I know what you're thinking. Come on, Doc, it's just a spoonful. But here's the thing. That spoonful may be doing more harm than you can see, and more than anyone ever told you. Sweetened condensed milk isn't just sweet, it's concentrated sugar in a syrupy disguise. 1 tablespoon delivers roughly 10 grams of added sugar, and let's be honest, no one uses just one. Whether it's coffee, oatmeal, or your grandkid's favorite pie, this stuff adds up fast. And when you're over 60, your body no longer processes sugar like it used to. Let me break it down. That sugar floods your bloodstream. Your pancreas scrambles to respond. Insulin spikes. Your blood sugar crashes. And you're left foggy, tired, and hungry again an hour later. That's not aging. That's a metabolic roller coaster. One that quietly pushes you toward insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, or worse. And for men in their 60s or 70s, that's a fire you don't want to feed. But here's where it gets even more serious. Sugar ages your brain. High sugar intake, especially the kind found in processed dairy like sweetened condensed milk, has been linked to faster memory loss and higher risk of Alzheimer's. Some neurologists now refer to Alzheimer's as type 3 diabetes because that's how deeply sugar derails brain function. So if you found yourself forgetting names, losing your train of thought, or feeling mentally off, it may not be just age creeping in. It could be what's hiding in your cup of coffee. And gentlemen, we need to talk about something few men bring up, but most worry about. Bedroom performance. The very same sugar that dulls your memory also kills testosterone, clogs blood vessels, and disrupts circulation. And guess what strong erections depend on? Hormones and blood flow. I've sat across from too many men, good, honest men, who thought their struggles in the bedroom were just normal aging. But after cutting back on the sugar, especially condensed milk, they came back a month later with more energy, better sleep, and yes, better confidence in their bodies. This is what I mean when I say sugar doesn't just hurt your health, it steals your identity, quietly, slowly, every single day. And yet most men never trace it back to that innocent drizzle. Now let's not forget digestion. That thick syrup, it slows your gut, feeds the wrong bacteria, and leads to bloating, gas, and morning sluggishness. You may feel heavy not because of your age, but because of that syrup swimming through your system meal after meal. I once had a patient in his late 60s, Howard, who couldn't figure out why he always felt tired after breakfast. He said, "Doc, I eat clean, just cereal with condensed milk." We cut the condensed milk for 3 weeks. He came back and said, "I feel 5 years younger. I had no idea." Howard's not alone. Men across the country are still carrying this sugary comfort from childhood, thinking it's harmless. But as I always tell my patients, there's a difference between nostalgia and nourishment. At this stage in life, your body doesn't need memories. It needs support. You deserve fuel that sharpens your mind, strengthens your body, and restores your confidence, not ingredients that quietly undo your progress. So here's the choice. You can keep reaching for the familiar, or you can make a simple, smart switch, not to punish yourself, but to protect everything that still matters to you. Because believe me, That tiny change could be the turning point. Now, if you thought condensed milk was bad, wait until we uncover the next one. It's labeled plant-based. It looks gentle, but beneath the surface, it's harming your bones, stressing your kidneys, and throwing your blood sugar into chaos. Let's turn the spotlight on rice milk.
3. Rice milk, the bone-weakening, kidney-harming imposter. Why this so-called gentle milk may be quietly sabotaging your health. Now here's a milk that sounds harmless. Rice milk. Light, plant-based, easy on the stomach, or so they say. In fact, I've had patients switch to rice milk and proudly tell me, "Doc, I'm cutting dairy and doing the healthy thing." And to be fair, it's an understandable choice. The packaging looks clean, the words plant-based and non-dairy feel comforting. But here's the truth I wish more people knew. Rice milk may be one of the most misleading choices for men over 60. Let's break it down. At its core, rice milk is just processed white rice and water. Sounds simple, right? But simple doesn't always mean smart. 1 cup of rice milk contains almost no protein, 0 healthy fats, very little natural nutrition. Now think about what your body actually needs after 60. Protein for muscle, fat for hormones, nutrients for energy. Rice milk gives you none of that. It's like filling your gas tank with water and expecting the engine to run. Worse, it delivers something your body absolutely doesn't need. A high glycemic load that spikes your blood sugar fast. That's right, a cup of rice milk can raise your glucose almost as quickly as a soda. And if you're managing pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, like many older men are, whether they know it or not, those blood sugar spikes can lead to fatigue, brain fog, cravings, and weight gain, and long-term damage to blood vessels and nerves. You might think you're being healthy, but inside your body, it's chaos. Now let's talk kidneys. Here's the dirty little secret about rice. It naturally absorbs arsenic from the soil. And when you take rice and concentrate it into milk form, that arsenic doesn't just go away, it accumulates. I've seen it in lab results. Men who drank rice milk daily, with kidney markers slowly creeping up. No pain, no symptoms, just quiet damage. And for men already dealing with high blood pressure or borderline kidney function, that extra burden can be dangerous. Now add in this kicker, no fiber. Rice milk doesn't support your gut like almond or oat milk can. In fact, it may even worsen bloating and digestive sluggishness, especially when it's sweetened, which most versions are. Let me tell you about one of my patients, Mike, 72 years old. He switched from whole milk to rice milk, thinking he was doing the right thing. He came in with more bloating, unpredictable energy, and rising blood sugar numbers. We swapped the rice milk for unsweetened almond milk. Within a month, he told me, "Doc, I finally feel stable again, and my pants aren't so tight." So here's the bottom line. Rice milk is a hollow promise. It's the health food version of empty calories, sugar spikes in disguise, with a sprinkle of toxic minerals and no real nourishment to show for it. Don't be fooled by the gentle name or the neutral taste. Your body deserves better than safe-sounding products that quietly strain your organs, drain your energy, and rob you of the strength you're trying to hold on to. If you're going to make a switch, make it one that gives back. And speaking of deception, the next milk we need to talk about is perhaps the sneakiest of all. It looks healthy. It's often labeled fortified or heart healthy or even low fat. But inside, it's packed with sugar, gums, and gut-disrupting additives. Flavored plant-based milks might just be the sweetest lie in your fridge. Let's pull back the curtain.
4. Flavored plant-based milks, the sweet sabotage in disguise. How your healthy-looking vanilla oat milk might be quietly wrecking your hormones, gut, and energy.
Now, if rice milk was a health halo with nothing inside, this next one is even trickier because it wears a health label and tastes like dessert. I'm talking about those flavored plant-based milks, vanilla almond, chocolate oat, coconut hazelnut. You've seen them lined up on the shelf like candy in disguise. And to be honest, I've had many men proudly tell me they've switched to plant-based milk because they're trying to do better. And I applaud that intention. But here's the truth most people never hear. The label may say heart-healthy or plant-based, but what's inside? That's where the sabotage begins. Let's start with the sugar. 1 cup of flavored plant-based milk can carry 10 to 15 grams of added sugar. That's as much as a glass of soda. Even worse, it's often hidden under friendlier names like cane juice, agave, or fruit concentrate. But here's the kicker. Your body doesn't care what the label calls it. Sugar is sugar. And when you're over 60, your ability to handle sugar drops fast. Every sweet sip spikes your insulin, triggers inflammation, disrupts testosterone, and drains your energy by midday. If you've ever felt tired, bloated, or just off after your morning smoothie or coffee with flavored almond milk, this could be why. Now let's talk about your hormones. These milks are often contain thickeners and emulsifiers like carrageenan, gums, and natural flavors that are designed to give that creamy texture. But in your body, they can disrupt the gut microbiome, irritate your digestion, interfere with hormone balance. And when hormones are off, your mood, energy, sex drive, sleep, it all takes a hit. One of my patients, Glenn, 68, switched to vanilla oat milk thinking it was a healthy move, but he kept gaining weight around the belly, felt more anxious, and started waking up multiple times at night. We cut the flavored stuff. Within weeks, he felt calmer, lighter, and, his words, not mine, like my body wasn't fighting me anymore. Here's another trap: fortification. These milks are often fortified with vitamins like B12 or calcium, but not in forms that your aging body absorbs well. So while it looks good on the carton, it might be useless once it hits your gut. Empty promises, flashy packaging. This is what I call health washing. It looks clean, it feels modern, but it's quietly making you weaker. And here's the big picture. Sugar plus additives plus poor absorption equals a triple threat to men over 60. They dull your focus, stress your pancreas, irritate your digestion, and quietly strip away the confidence and vitality that you're trying to hold on to. So if your morning glass of chocolate soy milk or vanilla almond latte is part of your routine, I'm not telling you to give up milk. I'm telling you to give up the milk that's giving up on you. You deserve better. There are milks that fuel your brain, support your heart, and even help your testosterone work with you, not against you. And now that we've exposed the 4 worst offenders, whole milk, sweetened condensed milk, rice milk, flavored plant-based milks, it's time to flip the script. Because in the next section, I'll show you 4 powerful alternatives that actually support your brain, blood flow, bones, and manhood after 60. And the first one, it might just surprise you because it comes from soy, but not the kind you think. Let's talk about fermented soy milk, the unexpected powerhouse for older men.
5. Fermented soy milk. Strength, balance, and brain fuel in a glass. Why this humble, misunderstood milk may be the key to reclaiming energy, memory, and manhood after 60. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Soy milk? Doc, isn't that stuff for health food stores and hipsters? I get it. Soy has gotten a strange reputation over the years. People worry it messes with hormones or that it's too soft for real men. But let me set the record straight. We're not talking about the ultra-processed, sugary soy drinks on store shelves.
We're talking about fermented soy milk, a completely different story. And for men over 60, this one's a game changer. Let's start with the basics. Fermented soy milk is rich in complete protein, which means it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to build and maintain muscle. That's no small thing. After 60, most men begin to lose muscle mass rapidly. That's not just about looking fit. It's about keeping your balance, walking upstairs, getting out of a chair without effort. 1 cup of fermented soy milk gives your muscles the building blocks they're starving for, and does it without the artery-clogging fat of whole milk. But the power doesn't stop at your arms and legs. This milk feeds your brain. Fermented soy is high in compounds called isoflavones, natural plant nutrients shown in studies to support memory, protect neurons, and even help reduce the risk of age-related cognitive decline. You may not notice it overnight, but drink it regularly, and you might find yourself remembering names faster, finishing thoughts with ease, or just feeling more mentally clear. One of my patients, Carl, 73, started swapping his evening dairy drink for a warm glass of fermented soy milk. 3 weeks later, he said, "Doc, I didn't think milk could change my thinking, but I'm remembering things faster and I don't feel as cloudy when I wake up." That's the real impact of functional nutrition. Now, let's talk about digestion, because this is where fermentation shines. Fermentation breaks down the complex sugars in soy that often cause gas or bloating. It also adds natural probiotics, those friendly gut bacteria that help improve digestion, reduce inflammation, and support nutrient absorption. And when your gut works better, your whole body works better, from your mood to your metabolism. Here's another reason this milk matters. It's gentle on your prostate and your testosterone balance. Those isoflavones, far from being harmful, they can actually help stabilize hormone levels, reduce inflammation in the prostate, and improve blood flow. More blood flow, more energy, more confidence where it counts. So how do you use it? Try a glass in the morning with your breakfast, or warm it gently before bed. Many men find it helps them sleep more deeply thanks to its calming effect on the gut and nervous system. Fermented soy milk isn't flashy, it's not sweet or loud, but it's strong, reliable, and smart, just like the kind of man you are trying to stay. This is the milk that works with your body, not against it. And if soy milk surprised you, wait until you hear about the next one. It's lighter, simpler, often overlooked, but it may just be the brain-protecting, heart-supporting powerhouse you never gave a second glance to.
6. Unsweetened almond milk. Brain-boosting, heart-protecting simplicity. Why this quiet, humble milk may be one of the smartest choices a man over 60 can make. If fermented soy milk is the underestimated powerhouse, then unsweetened almond milk is the quiet genius sitting right next to it. It doesn't boast. It doesn't come in a chocolate swirl or a fancy vanilla bottle. But when it comes to supporting your brain, protecting your heart, and keeping your body light and sharp, this milk punches far above its weight. Let's start with the basics. Unsweetened almond milk is low in calories, only 30 to 40 per cup, free of cholesterol, naturally low in saturated fat, and completely free of added sugar. That's a perfect profile for a man watching his weight, blood pressure, or blood sugar, which, let's be honest, is nearly every man after 60. One of my longtime patients, Joe, 76, used to drink sweetened oat milk every morning. He thought it was a healthy choice, but his blood sugar was all over the place, and he felt sluggish by mid-morning. We switched him to unsweetened almond milk, just that one change. 2 weeks later, he came in smiling.
"Doc, I feel clearer in the head. My pants fit better, and my stomach hadn't been acting up." That's the power of cutting out sugar and additives without giving up comfort. But what makes almond milk really special is what it gives back. Let's talk vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant found naturally in almonds. This isn't just a bonus, this is brain fuel. Vitamin E helps protect brain cells from oxidative stress, slow cognitive decline, and improve memory retention. In fact, studies show that older adults with higher vitamin E levels perform better on memory tests and may have lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. That's not hype, that's science. So when you pour a glass of unsweetened almond milk, you're not just quenching thirst, you're feeding your brain. And here's where it gets even better. Almond milk is rich in monounsaturated fats, the same healthy fats found in olive oil. These fats are known to lower LDL, bad cholesterol, support circulation, and promote a stronger cardiovascular system. And for men over 60, strong circulation means more than just a healthy heart. It means more mental clarity, more energy, and stronger performance in every sense of the word. And don't overlook digestive comfort. Unsweetened almond milk is lactose-free, light, and gentle on the gut. If you've dealt with morning bloating, gas after breakfast, or feeling heavy after your coffee, this milk might be your gut's new best friend. Because sometimes the best solutions are the simplest ones. No sugar, no bloating, no surprises. Just clean, brain-smart, heart-happy hydration. Use it in your morning coffee, blend it into your smoothie, pour it over cereal, or just drink it straight. In a world full of flashy drinks with hidden damage, unsweetened almond milk is a safe harbor. It won't fix everything, but it will support the man you're working to be. Focused, light on your feet, steady in your heart, and sharp in your mind. And if sleep is your next battle, or if your bones feel weaker than they used to, you'll want to hear about the next milk. It's warm, it's calming, and it may just help you rest better and rise stronger.
7. Calcium-Fortified Oat Milk. Comfort for bones and calm for sleep. Why this simple nighttime milk may be your body's quiet partner in deeper sleep and stronger bones after 60. Let's talk about something most men don't mention, but deeply feel. It's not just back pain or aching knees. It's that moment you lie in bed at night, staring at the ceiling and wondering, am I getting weaker? Is my body slowly giving up on me? What if I lose my independence? I've heard this quiet fear from men in their 60s, 70s, even the 80s. And one of the most overlooked answers lies in something so simple, so calming, it almost feels too easy. Calcium-Fortified Oat Milk. Now, don't let the name fool you. This isn't about fads or trendy diets. This is about gentle daily support for two areas of your health that are deeply connected, your bones and your sleep. Let's begin with the bones. After 60, bone loss accelerates, especially in men who don't get enough calcium and vitamin D. Your spine, your hips, your knees, they don't give you warning before they weaken. One day, it's just a little stiffness, then a fall, then a fracture, then weeks in a hospital bed that steal your independence before you even realize it. A single glass of calcium-fortified oat milk can provide 25 to 30% of your daily calcium needs, plus added vitamin D to help you actually absorb it. It's like giving your skeleton the reinforcements it's quietly asking for. But it's not just for the bones. Oat milk also soothes the nervous system. Unlike the sugar-filled, flavored versions we discussed earlier, unsweetened, calcium-fortified oat milk contains beta-glucan, a natural fiber that helps lower cholesterol, supports gut health, and gently stabilizes blood sugar levels. That stability is exactly what your body needs before bed. It tells your system, you're safe. It's time to rest. Nothing's chasing you. And sometimes that's all it takes to turn a restless night into a peaceful one. I had a patient named Robert, 67 years old, ex-construction worker, big guy, strong hands, but lately he felt tired. His knees ached, and he said, "Doc, I just don't sleep like I used to." We added a warm cup of oat milk before bed. Just that. 3 weeks later, he told me, "I'm sleeping longer. My knees don't groan when I stand up. I feel steadier." Was it a miracle? No. It was support, the kind your body understands. And because oat milk is naturally lactose-free, low in fat, and easy to digest, it won't leave you bloated or uncomfortable like regular milk can. No gurgling, no acid reflux, just quiet strength where you need it most. So here's my suggestion. Start small. Warm up a cup before bed. Sip it slowly. Let it be part of your wind-down ritual. Because sometimes strength isn't built in the gym. It's built while you sleep. And now that we've supported the muscles, the heart, the brain, and the bones, it's time for our final milk, the one that works from the inside out. This last milk may be the most anti-inflammatory, circulation-friendly, hormone-supporting option of them all.
8. Flax milk, the omega-3 secret weapon for joints, brain, and erections. The final milk on our list doesn't just nourish, it helps restore the man you remember being. You've made it this far. You've let go of the old myths about milk. You've seen how certain types can weaken your heart, cloud your mind, dull your energy. And you've been introduced to new, better choices. Milks that work with your body, not against it. But now it's time to talk about one more. One that most men never even consider, but absolutely should. Flax milk. Now, I'll be honest, it doesn't get the spotlight. It's not sold with flashy ads or sweet flavors. But if you're over 60 and want to fight inflammation, protect your brain, support your joints, and even improve blood flow and bedroom confidence, this one belongs in your fridge. Let me explain why. First, flax milk is naturally rich in ALA, a plant-based form of omega-3 fatty acids. Now, you've probably heard omega-3s are good for the heart. But what many men don't realize is omega-3s are a man's best friend after 60. They reduce inflammation throughout the body, and that's huge because chronic inflammation is the silent wrecking ball behind joint pain, brain fog, fatigue, hormonal imbalance, and yes, erectile dysfunction. One of my patients, Jim, 71, was dealing with stiff knees, memory slips, and had quietly started avoiding intimacy. He felt like he was fading. We added 1 cup of unsweetened flax milk to his routine every morning with breakfast. Within 3 weeks, he said, "Doc, I feel lighter, like my body's not fighting me every day." That's what reducing internal inflammation feels like. Let's break it down further. For your joints, omega-3s help lubricate joints, reduce stiffness, and improve flexibility. Less pain, more movement, better mornings. For your brain, they support neuron health, slow cognitive aging, and improve mood. You feel more focused, less irritable, and sharper when speaking or remembering. For your manhood, this is the one no one talks about,
but every man notices. Better blood flow equals better performance, and omega-3s help relax blood vessels, improve circulation, and even support testosterone production. I've seen it again and again. Men who feel like they've lost it discover it wasn't age, it was inflammation strangling their vitality. And flax milk? It fights back. Plus, it's usually fortified with calcium, vitamin D, and B12, giving your bones, nerves, and energy levels a much-needed boost. It's lactose-free, cholesterol-free, low in calories, and easy on digestion. No gas, no bloating, no blood sugar spikes. So whether you blend it into your smoothie, stir it into your oats, or sip it chilled, it's clean, efficient fuel that gets results. Flax milk isn't flashy, it's functional. It doesn't make promises, it makes progress. And for a man in his 60s, 70s, or 80s, that's exactly what you need. Steady strength, sharper focus, and restored confidence day by day. Now that you've learned the 4 milks to avoid and the 4 milks to choose, let's bring it all together. It's time for your final takeaway, the simplest decision you can make tomorrow morning that may change everything.
9. Conclusion. A new milk, a new life. Over the past few minutes, we've taken a quiet but powerful journey, one that most men never get the chance to take. We've peeled back the labels, exposed the sweet disguises, and uncovered the surprising truth about how something as routine as milk could be quietly shaping your strength, your focus, and your manhood. You've learned the 4 milks to avoid after 60. Whole milk, clogging arteries and hormones. Sweetened condensed milk, flooding your brain and blood with sugar. Rice milk, a hollow drink with hidden toxins. And flavored plant-based milks, sugary traps wearing healthy labels. And in their place, you've met 4 true allies. Fermented soy milk, for lean strength and a sharper mind. Unsweetened almond milk, quiet nourishment for your heart and brain. Calcium-Fortified Oat Milk, a gentle hand for your bones and sleep. And Flax Milk, the omega-rich powerhouse that restores joints, blood flow, and confidence. This isn't just about milk. It's about waking up to what your body's really asking for. And it's about giving yourself permission to stop living by old rules and start listening to new wisdom. I want you to remember something. You're not past your prime. You're past the noise. And now, with clear eyes and clearer choices, you get to decide what kind of man you're still becoming. So here's my invitation to you. Tomorrow morning, when you open the fridge, make it a moment of intention. Reach for something that serves the man you are today, not the habits of yesterday. Pour strength, pour clarity, pour healing. One change, one week, one new direction. If this message resonated with you, if even one part of it made you stop and think, do something with it. Click like, not just for the algorithm, but as a sign to yourself, I'm paying attention now. Share this video with another man who needs to hear the truth. Your brother, your friend, your father, or even your son. And in the comments, if you're ready to take that first step, just type, I'm making the switch. Because sometimes saying it out loud is how the change begins. And finally, if you believe in honest, science-backed, life-changing health content made for men like you,
consider supporting this channel. Your support helps us reach more people, create more powerful videos, and continue serving this incredible community with truth, with purpose, and with heart. Thank you for being here. And remember, stronger isn't gone. It's just waiting for you to choose it again.